The Usha Silai Training and Production Center is a central facility created specially for rural women to assemble, get trained in sewing and stitching, and also make products for the market. This model came into being in 2015, and the benefit to the women associated with it were immediately apparent. Once the model took off, a number of different NGOs and corporate and government partners joined this effort to give the women of rural India their own identity, their independence. As part of the Training and Production Center model, the Usha Silai School program brings its expertise of specialized training, customized to the needs of the partner, which could be anything from bags and uniforms to accessories, garments, and so on. The training is then given at 2 levels, basic and advanced, depending on the skill of the learners.
Usha has been instrumental in setting up many training and production centers. Many organizations have approached Usha looking for a holistic solution which could be specific to some training modules, systems and processes, equipment for the center, helping set up the entire system for them. And I'm happy to say that we have helped many corporates as well as government agencies set up such training cum production centers. Typically these training cum production centers are spaces which are centrally located to, let's say, about 4 or 5 villages and cater to the women population there. And these centers are primarily used as learning centers where people can come learn how to stitch and sew. And these are also spaces where they can make products which can be sold in the market.
In the village of Rasulpur in Nawashahar district, Punjab, the Bhagwan Singh Memorial Foundation is engaged in various socio-economic welfare activities in the region. The head of the trust, UK-based Ajit Singh, wants to do something for the people of his land. He wants to give back to his village and his country.
When I was in Kenya, it was started at that time. I used to visit India almost 3-4 times a year. And then I stayed in India, and this thing came to my mind, and I thought it should be done. And then in 2019, we established legally, registered the company, this foundation, and started working. Well, at the moment, we have started only this school. And then I have a plan to start something for farmers in the village and also a chef training. We are building a big kitchen over there to train the ladies or the gents as chefs.
The Bhagwan Singh Memorial Foundation wanted to empower women by giving them life and livelihood skills. The Usha Silai School program ticked all the boxes.
When I was looking for somebody to associate with me, and a friend of mine who lives in Chandigarh suggested that why don't you contact Usha people. So I made a contact with them, and happily it materialized. I have a very good relationship with them, and as we are trying to know each other, understand each other, perhaps in so many other areas we will cooperate with each other.
The trust provided a building, dedicated for Usha's training and production work, and the Usha Silai School provided its best trainer, Mr. Rajesh, to train the women in sewing and stitching.
यहाँ हम 15 दिन की ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं, जिसमें 2 दिन हमारा मशीन असेंबलिंग और मशीन रिपेयरिंग का रहेगा, जिसमें मशीन्स के सारे पार्ट खोल के मशीन बनाने का रहेगा और मशीन्स की ट्रबल शूटिंग वो करेंगी। उसके बाद जो 13 डेज़ है हम सोइंग स्टिचिंग पे हमारा फोकस रहेगा, उसमें एम्ब्रॉयडरी भी पार्ट रहेगा। बीच बीच में हम लाइफ स्किल्स के भी सेशन करते रहेंगे आने वाले अगले 13 दिन में।
यहाँ मतलब अच्छे तरीके से सिखाया जा रहा है। जो हमने जहाँ भी सीखा है वहाँ इस ढंग से नहीं सिखाते थे, बहुत बारीकी की तरह का यहाँ से सिखाया जा रहा है। पॉइंट टू पॉइंट सब कुछ समझाया जा रहा है जो हमें नहीं पता था।
तो जीत अंकल जस है वो जहाँ नहीं रहते, इंग्लैंड में रहते हैं, इसी गांव से गए हैं। वो लेडीज़ वास्ते कुछ करना चाहते थे, उन्होंने जो बिल्डिंग रेडी करवाई और उषा कंपनी वालों के साथ रलकर उन्होंने जो ट्रेनिंग सेंटर खोला है, जहाँ पर हमें पेंट, शर्ट, यूनिफॉर्म जैसे होती है, स्कर्ट, लेडीज़ कुर्ता, जेंट्स कुर्ता, पजामा जो भी है वो हमें ट्रेनिंग देते हैं। सिलाई में पहले भी बहुत देर से करती थी, लेकिन लेडीज़ ही कपड़े सिलती थी। जेंट्स शर्ट, बच्चों की शर्ट, स्कर्ट जे वगैरह, यूनिफॉर्म वगैरह मुझे कुछ नहीं आता था। मैंने जहाँ रहकर सीखा शर्ट कैसे बनता है, कैसे कटिंग होती है, जहाँ जो ब्रीकियों से हमें सिखाया है वो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। मैंने जो जहाँ ट्रेनिंग दी जाती है वो नहीं तो हमें शहर जाकर सीखना पड़ता था, वो हमें बहुत औखा लगता है। रोज़ जाना आना, इसमें टाइम वेस्ट होता है। जो हमारे पिंड में ही है, हम टाइम निकाल कर आ सकते हैं, सीख सकते हैं। जब हम लोगों को पता लगता है वे और भी इन्होंने एक किस्म का ट्रेनिंग ली है, पहले तो हमने ऐसे ही सीखा था थोड़ा सा, अब हमने ट्रेनिंग ली है, अब उनको पता चलता है कि इन्होंने उषा कंपनी वालों से ट्रेनिंग ली है तो इन्हें और भी बेहतर आता होगा, इसीलिए हमारे पास काम और भी ज़्यादा आता है।
मुझे पता लगा था हमारे गाँव में सेंटर खुला है, मैं कपड़े सीखने आ गई। मैं अपने पैरों पर खड़ी होना चाहती थी, इसीलिए मैं सिलाई कपड़े सीख के अपने माँ बाप के बोझ नहीं बनना चाहती। और मैं यहाँ इस सेंटर में अपनी ट्रेनिंग लेने के लिए, और मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है। यहाँ पर ट्रेनिंग बहुत अच्छी दी जाती है और मुझे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला है, जैसे यूनिफॉर्म वगैरह सीखने को मिली है, पैंट, स्कर्ट, शर्ट, और मुझे बहुत नॉलेज आई है इसके बारे में। हमें जैसे कि पैंटें, शर्टें यहाँ कुछ नहीं आता था, ना स्कर्ट आती थी, है ना, और लेडीज़ कुर्ता, जेंट्स कुर्ता नहीं आता था, और हमें यहाँ पर ये सब कुछ सीखने को मिला है। मेरी इनकम में बहुत फ़र्क पड़ा है यहाँ पर सीख कर, और बहुत अच्छा सीख रही हूँ और सोच रही हूँ कि आगे भी अच्छा ही करूँ और मेरी इनकम में बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ावा आए। हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा, उषा कंपनी ने जो हमें सिखाया है सब कुछ हमें अच्छा लगा।
तो चौक बिल्कुल पतला सा चलाना है ना, तो हमेशा ये ध्यान रखना है।
Awareness of women is very important. For me, women has a very high status in life, and every person should respect and do the maximum for her. In childhood, it was my mother who used to knit a sweater for me. So many women at home, I think, know it, how to do it. There's one book, Kache Tage, and another book, Ik Bichari Ma. It is all about women. So I respect women from the core of my heart.
The only force more powerful than the power of one is many individuals coming together with a common purpose and for collective action. A collective effort can yield powerful results. The Training and Production Center established by the NGO Sankalp in collaboration with the Usha Silai School program is one such joint effort to create potential women entrepreneurs.
Our partnership with Usha actually was really occasioned by the intervention of our local Usha head, Shri Vijayananda Babu, who took a particular interest in our school because he understood that our objectives are similar. Usha foundation tries its best to provide a means of income to those girl child or it's not restricted only to girls, even boys can take the program, and to train them up for the livelihood purposes.
Sankalp believes that to lift people out of poverty, it is necessary to enhance the livelihood capabilities of the poor and give them access to sustainable income earning opportunities.
The Sankalp NGO is an organization which was established in year 2011, and the aim of the organization is to primarily promote social justice throughout the areas which and the districts, particularly and the underprivileged districts, where malnutrition, education and any higher opportunity of income is not available. So with that in mind, NGO was established, and today at the end of about a decade of service, it has achieved its objectives as much as possible, to the extent possible, about removal of poverty in a number of places, providing quality education to the students and also giving them means of livelihood.
The centre is the only skill development institute in 5 village panchayats. It has created women entrepreneurs and distributed 8,000 masks in nearby villages free of cost during the height of the pandemic.
यहाँ पे हम लोग जो ट्रेनिंग सेंटर खोला ना, ट्रेनिंग सेंटर में 3 किस्म को मशीन हम लोग को लाया था। एक ब्लैक मशीन, वाइट मशीन और कुछ इंडस्ट्रियल मशीन लाया था। इसी में जो नया ट्रेनिंग के लिए आया था उनको मशीन कैसे चलाएंगे, जो ब्लैक मशीन और इंडस्ट्रियल मशीन, वाइट मशीन कैसे चलाएंगे और एम्ब्रॉयडरी सीखेंगे, कटिंग करेंगे, डिफरेंट डिज़ाइन का कटिंग करने के लिए कि हम लोग को यहाँ पे भी सिखाया। वो स्कूल इन्फॉर्म भी किया, सिलेक्ट किया।
This centre typifies the program's hub and spoke model, where the centre is the hub and the benefits spread outwards to all those associated with it.
संकल्प ट्रेनिंग सेंटर मुझे काम कर शिखी ये भी पैंट शर्ट स्कूल छुआ यूनिफॉर्म ब्लाउज ड्रेस फ्रेस सब जानची सर आरु मो स्वामी हैंडिकैप्टे मो पु भी हैंडिकैप्टे मुझे काम करके मासक 6-7 हज़ार टଙ୍କା रोजगार कर स्कूल पुओंकर स्कूल यूनिफॉर्म तैयारी करने सहित कोविड समय आम बहुत मास्क तैयारी आमर चलवाई कि से माने आर्थिक अवस्था भल नुह तेणु मुझे लॉकडाउन समय ये मास्क तैयारी करी और ड्रेस पत्र तैयारी करी मासिक हाराहारी 5,000 ରୁ 6,000 रोजगार करी मु निजे पाठ पढ़ा सहित मो घर लोक सब प्रकार साहाय्य कर।
It isn't just women empowerment. Sankalp also works for children. Sankalp's informal learning centres are for the children who can't afford to pay a school fee.
The school at Cuttack district was established with the primary objective of providing quality education to about 500 to 700 students who come from the 18 different districts of Western Odisha and Southwestern Odisha, who are the most underprivileged, and in fact they do not have access to any education. I'll take an example. In the COVID situation, these students have missed complete any form of education, either a one teacher school policy or through digital education, because internet is not accessible out there and the quality of education is extremely poor. So our school provides quality education right from nursery up to class 10th, and we link it up with an ITI, which is an industrial training institute, in which these students get all the skills necessary to graduate as fitters, as electricians, solar panel operators, and now added to tailoring and a few other things which we have in the pipeline, such as biogas and renewable energy resources. So our aim is to provide these children and make each one of them a change agent when he goes back to his respective village, or he goes back to a metro town or a tier 2 city and is able to earn enough to feed not only his family but his entire group of brothers and sisters. So each student has therefore a role. So we not only teach them the skills on education, but we also teach them morals, ethics and giving back to the society because they have received so much.
For Sankalp, development is a liberating force, and they do this by educating, organizing and empowering the poorest of the poor.